Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the LaunchDay podcast. I'm your host, Dean Cvetkoski, a.k.a. WhoDean. And guys, here in studio with us today, in our online studio, this is awesome. This is our LaunchDay Shorts online studio. We have Matthew Bassilios. Matthew, how are you, sir?
I'm really good, my friend. I'm really good.
That's really good, man. You know what? You posted a reel right before this interview and you tagged me in it. And all I'm hearing is doof, doof, doof. And you're like pumped up, man. You know, like, that's like really bringing the energy, bro. Like, really bringing the energy.
I had to do it, man. You know, how many times do you get to jump on a potty with the one and only D?
I appreciate that testament. You know, like, you know, we're all on a journey, brother. Don't worry. We're getting
Pay
there.
me later, bro. Pay me later.
But you know what, dude? That hyped me up. Like, it really did. You know, like, I go to my other interviews. I've been stressing all day. There's been delays. You know, and like any kind of business, right? I'm trying to figure out how to, you know, streamline this and do that. And you know, it's been a journey. And then I see your video, and I'm like, dude, yes, this is what we need. You know what I mean? We need this stuff, man. You know, so, and I think that ties in. So correct me if I'm wrong. You know, Matthew. So you're a business coach. Is that correct?
That's right, man. I am a business coach.
Yeah, fantastic. So you're a business coach. That do you do like getting people hyped up and stuff like that? Does that sort of tie in with you know, with part of the routine for you in terms of being a business coach? Yeah.
100%, man. For me, it's all about helping people achieve their dreams, right? I want to work with people that are serious about where they want to get to, you know, and I know everyone's got their own story, and I want to hear everyone's story and work out how I can help you get to where you want to be.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I feel like, you know, like if you were to approach me and say, "Hey, Dan, let's do some business coaching," like just bringing that energy like you did earlier, man. Like I'm already hyped. I'm already on board. And I think that's what a lot of people, you know, forget to realize sometimes is bringing the excitement to what they do. So, mate, hats off to you. Like I commend you for that because that's awesome. Really good.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate that. I think we've got a little bit of a lag, so I'm trying to keep up.
Yeah, I've noticed that too, and I'm like, oh yeah, okay, it's a bit here and a bit there, but that's okay. We'll make it work, right? So that's good stuff. We'll fix all of that up in post, right? But look, Matthew, look, I want to know more about you. You seem like a really standout kind of guy. You know, you've obviously got a love for basketball, and you have a love for whiskey. So the two of us, we're like two peas in a pod. We're gonna get along just fine, right? Well, tell me more about you, man. Like, you know, run me through your story. You know, where you came from, who you are. Give me a rundown. You know, give me the highlights.
Yeah, absolutely. So, born in Melbourne, when I was my background is Egyptian, born in Melbourne. When
Okay.
I was about 10, we moved up to the Gold Coast. You know, obviously great weather there, but I missed all my family. So ended up coming back to Melbourne, had all my grandparents, my aunties, uncles, cousins. I've got quite a large family. So I think in total, there's about 16 siblings between my parents. So quite a large
Wow.
family. I understand.
Wow. Six. Dude, I have a hard time with five.
My dad's one of 10, and I think there were a couple of twins along the way that unfortunately passed as well. But yeah, massive,
Mm,
massive family. So yeah,
wow.
finished school, came to Melbourne to study physio. So finished that, started working as a physio, and pretty early on realized that physio wasn't for me. I always wanted to get into like the health and medical side of things because I just wanted to help people. I've always had this affinity for helping people.
Mm,
But realized that being a clinician, I could only really help the person that I was treating at the time. And for me, I just wanted more. I wanted to work out how I could help more people um, continuously. So I got into like leadership and management, and then influencing cultures and improving the working life for people, influencing direction of organization, that sort of thing. Worked my way
nice.
up the corporate ladder. Yeah, worked my way up the corporate ladder, did a bit of sales, client relationship. And then about 8 years ago, actually started my own company. So I started out with just me and my business partner. I was doing the physio work. And then 8 years on, we've grown to an 8-figure business that employs circa 200 people across Australia. in Vic, New South Wales, WA, Queensland. So yeah, and branched out from physio. So we've got nurses, OTs, dietitians, a whole range of services. So
That's
yeah,
awesome, man.
had a very kind of intense business career, if you will, in a very short space of time.
That's awesome. Honestly, that's really cool. I love the journey. I love how for you it was, coming back to Melbourne was to be with family, right? So, and family is my number one value. So, I that for me feels really well, like feels really good. That's you're hitting some heartstrings for me here, brother. You know what I mean? So,
Well, I've
and like,
got,
yeah.
sorry, go on.
I was gonna say, what's it like with clients? Like clients, do they kind of form part of the family as well?
Absolutely, man. It's funny because I talk to clients and often I'll say, I'm very selective with who I work with, right? Because at the end of the day, I want people that are going to achieve success. So I'm very selective with who I work with. But once I'm in, I'm all in. I'm that kind of guy, right? Once I'm in,
Mm,
I'm all in. So, you've got my personal number. I tell you to call me whenever because I know in business, right, things aren't going to happen right before we have our next catch up. And that might be 2 weeks in between, right? If
mm,
something happens tomorrow, I don't want you sitting there going, oh, well, I've got a couple of weeks. I want you to be able to go, oh, shit, I need to talk to Matt. You know, Pick up the phone, give Matt a call, send Matt a message and go, bro, I need your help. This has just happened. What should I do? You know,
mm.
I genuinely invest into people.
I like
I
that,
invest,
man.
and I invest emotionally, mentally. For me, it's not just you're a client. And that's why I get to be in a position where I pick and choose who I want to work with.
Mm. I like that, man. I really like that. And like I had a similar conversation with someone recently, and they were like, "Oh, um, is this going to be something where I'm just another number, or?" And I literally looked at them with shock, and I was like, "I can't believe you just asked me that." No, absolutely not. Like, I think that there's a friendship that's going to be fostered out of this, and so much more, right? And I'm always focused on how I can give more value. And sometimes value isn't always just, it's not always just, what you provide them from a business point of view. Sometimes it's just like a shoulder to cry on or an ear to listen, you know,
100%.
and some of that can make some of the biggest differences. So that's awesome, man. Treating your clients like their family. So you guys, you come to Christmas dinner together, or hey, sorry, whatever your religious sort of beliefs are. Do you get them all in and say, yeah, hey, let's all come around the table and enjoy some food together? Is that level of intimacy, or
Bro, we haven't, but that's an absolutely great idea. I
100%,
really like
man,
that, you know,
100%?
because here's the thing, people
Mm,
like you and I, and a lot of people in our network, we're really ambitious people, right? But
correct.
often it gets lonely at the top. There's not many people like us. And so when you find people that are ambitious, that really want to drive their business, that are really true entrepreneurs, right? We've got to stick together and we've got to help each other out. I know one of you joke around about whenever a query comes out around tax advice, there's a certain person, Angela, that we often quote,
Yeah.
right? It's funny, right? Because I was on a coaching call today. The client starts saying, "Hey, so would you be able to give me some financial advice?" We started talking about his situation, and the next thing was like, "Well, dude, I'm going to put you in touch with my accountant." Right?
Mm,
This guy does. He specializes in business, right? In business accounting. And I put it to Angela, and he's like, "Bro, thank you so much." And I'm like, "Dude, don't thank me. This should be the norm, right?" Unfortunately, we're in a society where everyone's out for themselves. But how
man,
amazing would it be if
100%.
we could rise and lift each other up with each other?
Man, 100%. And you know what? Go ask Angelo what percentage, I'll tell you, man, go ask him. Go ask him what percentage of his clientele came from my referral. You know what I mean? And like that's the thing, right? And that's the same. I've got now a finance broker that I work with from the business side of things, and same deal, right? Is that I treat him the same way. So like once I have or start working with someone, every opportunity that there is, I'm out there and I'm saying, yeah, hey, you need to be talking to this person. This person can help you. And I think for me, it's also the difference between that personal touch, like what you say that you're providing to people, versus just being another number. And let's give the finance broker as an example. You go any other place. And if you're just another number on the board, they go, oh, no, can't help you. Sorry, it's too hard. And then you've got people like my finance broker where they go, Dean, don't worry about it. We'll make it work. Do you know what I mean? There's some things we can do to make it work. Don't worry. It's all legal, blah, blah, blah. But you can see the effort and the time and the energy that's being put into it versus the other person that treats you like a number. And I think that's a real testament to you, right, in treating people that way and really bonding with them and fostering those friendships and cultivating those friendships through business. Do you know what I mean,
Absolutely.
man?
And it's funny, right? Because I've learned that I'm not the only one like this.
Hey, yes, I'm talking to you, and I know it looks like the interview, but it's actually not. We're taking a really quick, short break so that way you can hear me out. I really want you to hear me out here. If you are a business owner, you are building your personal brand. I mean, you could be anyone. You could be a real estate agent, you could be an astronaut, an IT professional. It really doesn't matter who you are and where you fit into the world. This interview is great for you. If you're really struggling to make content, and let's face it, right? When we get our phones out and we're like, taking selfies and doing videos that way, it just comes across as inauthentic. And the other side of that as well is the fact that it's just so hard to come up with ideas of what kind of content to create. And this is where our interviews absolutely bring a powerhouse and an arsenal of, basically a war chest in terms of your organic content marketing that you're creating. We create the TikToks and Reels for you. Here's the thing. I've got some great news. The great news is that this interview is completely free. We boost your SEO on Google because we go and feature these videos like the one you're watching on YouTube. And not only that, but we also give you free content to post to TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and all the rest of it as well. So if you haven't already, in the description down below is a link to Linktree where you'll see the opportunity for you to book your very own interview and get free content for your personal brand or your business as well. I'll see you on the other side of the screen.
There are genuine, I've been hurt, I haven't spoken to you about some of the stuff that I've been through over the past few years. But what I've learned is that not everyone's bad. There's actually a lot of good people out there.
Yeah.
I caught up with a friend of mine last night, and forgive me for saying this. I hope she doesn't get offended, but it's funny what you were talking about, right? Because she's an amazing lady. She's built this massive empire. She's got 10 businesses now. She was telling me last night.
Wow.
But she kind of started out in the cleaning industry, right? And I was saying, cool. How the hell do you sell commercial cleaning? Right? What are your products better? And I sat there, and I'm like, spray. This is us. This is the other one. And she was like, Matt, it's just being genuine and being honest. I'd go, cool. We'd run through different business scenarios, and she'd like, look, I'd turn around and be honest and say, look, unfortunately, I can't help you. But when they were in a position where they could, the first person that popped into their head was her, right? Because they built that trust, they built that relationship. They could see the good in her, right? And they're the kind of people that I'm drawn to in life. They're the kind of people that I want to work with.
I couldn't agree more, man. I couldn't agree more. And it is like, I go through these times where you just know, actually, I'll tell you what, there was one person where I was speaking with them, and then I went to one of my team members and I said, look, I'm just not feeling the vibe with this person. And I hadn't even spoken to them yet. Like verbally, it was only SMS only. And then, I said to my team, I'm like, oh, I think it's probably better if one of you guys take on this one because I don't feel the vibe. And, then it gets to the next point where there is some level of transaction or interaction between us. And then it kind of proved to me that even though, so we don't treat people like they're a number, but sometimes other people treat us as business owners like we're just another number too. And so, and it's so funny how sometimes now, especially for me now, I can actually start seeing the early signs of that before it gets there. Do you know what I mean? Which is, I think you have to get through so many bad experiences to get to that point, right? To know the difference between that.
Absolutely, man. You get to a point in life. So I know you've got two beautiful girls, right? I've got a beautiful son and a beautiful daughter. You get to a point in life where you realize what's truly important, right?
Mm,
It's the people, having the right people around you. You know, it's your family. You know, and
absolutely, dude.
for me, I've cut out a lot of my friends. You know, I've now got this small inner circle. Most of it is made up of my cousins. You know, shout out to them. I know that they're probably watching. And a couple of kind of key people that I really resonate with from a personal and business perspective. You know,
Absolutely.
because life's too short, right? People like you and I have so much to give, and what we want to do is give to those that deserve it.
Man, you say life's too short, and like I know it all too well. Like I don't know if you are aware or not, but last year in March I had a stroke.
I wasn't, man, and I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, no, I'm alive. I can move. I'm good as far as I'm aware. But and I'm still positive. But you're absolutely right, dude. Life is short. Life is short, and that's actually changed my attitude quite a lot as well. So it is.
And it's funny you
It's
say that,
definitely
man,
experience. Yeah,
because
man.
I've been through some stuff over the past couple of years, and you know those that are in my circle know where I've been. I've been at rock bottom. You know, I have
Mm,
questioned a lot of things. I've had a close friend, who unfortunately committed suicide, and again, right,
sorry to
there
hear,
were
brother.
a few key thanks, man. There were a few key people that still saw the value in me, right, and were still there for me and supported me no matter what, and helped me get back on track, right? And they're the kind of people that I'll forever be grateful for. You know, my cousins, the person that I went with for dinner last night. So Anna Gavalis, shout out to you. Yeah, and that's the thing, man. Life is too short, and people like you and I, once we realize that, once everyone realizes that, all of a sudden it changes who you are. This guy with the energy and stuff that you see, bro, 6 months ago, completely different person,
Mm,
completely different person.
absolutely, dude. Listen, let's. I want to cover more on the business side of things for you, because you know what, demonstrating who you are as an individual, dude. I have zero doubts. Like you seem like the most genuine, top bloke. You know what, man? I don't have many conversations like this. And sometimes it's just small talk, and it's. I sit there and I shake my head. I go, really, But this is definitely one of those conversations for me that I'm really feeling the love, from even beyond the screen. You know what I mean? So, but enough of the love, enough of the about you. What I want to know is about your business, man. Like I want you to run me through that. So, who do you help? What exactly it is that you do for them? Who's your sort of target market, and how do you help them? Man, take me through that, because I'd definitely be open to working with you in future too. So tell me as if you were selling to me as a customer.
Absolutely, man. Well, look, I guess for me, first and foremost, it genuinely is about helping people. You know, it's what I love, it's what I do. It gives me a sense of personal satisfaction that no money can buy. Right? When
Mm,
I see someone succeed or achieve something, knowing that I had a hand in that, that gives me a level of satisfaction that you just can't put money on.
mm,
Um, so what I realized, right, along my career is that I love business. To me, business is a hobby. Like, it's fun. People look at me like I'm a weirdo, right? But I'll go into a cafe and I'll be like, cool. I wonder how many people are working today, and I'll start running numbers in my head, right? Okay, cool. What's the capacity? What's the average value of, the items? What are the highest looking items? Again, at dinner, we were talking about this last night. When you get two business heads in a room, we were sitting there like unpacking business models and, what would you do with this and all that sort of stuff. So I love it. And so for me, I ended up falling into business coaching because it was my love of helping people and my hobby of business,
can
right?
I just say
And so,
on that note, right? So you like basketball, you
yeah,
drink whiskey, which is fantastic, and then you have a love for business. Can I just say, I don't care if we go over, we'll go over, okay? Can I just say that what you just said to me is like deja vu? It like seriously deja vu. I was just having this conversation the other day. Someone asked me like, "Oh, Dean, do you have any hobbies?" I'm like, "Yeah, business." They're like, "No, no, like surely it's something else, like surely, I don't know, some kind of craft, maybe do pottery, I don't know, something." And I'm just business. And they're like, "No, no, like surely there's more than that." I said, "Oh, you know what?" I told them this story. I go, "You know what? I went paintballing with some mates." And they're like, "Oh, so paintball." I go, "Just wait, I'll tell you the story." And I'm like, it's not just paintball. Let me tell you the story. I went paintballing. Let me tell you, I got the camouflage. I got grass from my surroundings and leaves, and I started weaving it into, my, making a ghillie suit so that way it was hard to see me and yada yada. And then I crawled my way, across to the other side of the map so that way when the whistle was blown, I got up and I ambushed them from behind because our team was losing. And I came out of the bushes in the back, went bap, 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 and I completely wiped out the entire team.
Like something out of a Rambo film.
Yeah, it felt like it. And this is the thing. He goes, oh, so you love paintballing? I go, no. I go, when we got back to the rest area, I started Googling, how much do paintballs cost? What's it worth for a property like this? How much does it cost to get a license to for a firearms license for paintball? What does it cost to rent a property? How about this? All these expenses. And I'm sitting there, it's all flying through my head. How can I run a paintball business? Is it profitable? You know what I mean, dude? I'm not even kidding you. Like, so that me and you, two peas in a pod by the sounds of things, right? So
yeah, I mean, you look at the conversation last night, right? People are watching this now and going, these guys must have known each other for years, right?
This is the first time we've ever spoken properly.
Absolutely, bro. It's like we're part of this WhatsApp group, this business WhatsApp group. We might have had a bit of banter in there, but first time, and even just the conversation last night via Facebook, you shooting some of those questions and you talk about providing value, right? That's me. I'm sitting there giving you tips and ideas and tricks and feedback and all that kind of stuff on my user experience and blah blah blah. And I'm enjoying that, bro. Right? I was in bed and I'm like, I really should go to sleep, and I'm like, what if Dean's messaged back yet? Cool. What's the next question? Let me check my email and see what the user interface, looks like, so I can give him feedback on that.
Can't sleep without it, right? Yeah, dude, I feel you.
And that's how we are. So yeah, so that's kind of how I got into business coaching, man. And one of the things that I've realized is that I've built my own business. So it's kind of like I've been there, I've done that. I know, being a founder, right, that when businesses get to a certain level, it's really hard for the founder to be able to step away. So for me, I made a decision about a year ago that, hey, it was time for me to walk away because I was just so emotionally invested in that business. It was my baby. There were so many things that we needed to do to improve, and part of me was in denial, right? Because I took it personally because this is what I've built, and so it started to become stressful for me and I was no longer enjoying it, especially when you get to that kind of scale, And so for me, what I love about coaching is that I can sit back and be objective because it's not my money, it's not my livelihood, it's not my business, right? But I can still get emotional because I've got that connection with you and because I want what's best for you, right? I'm going to give you my everything. But now I'm in a position where I'm making strategic and objective business decisions. I'm not making decisions based on emotion.
Yeah.
So for me, again, it's the best of both worlds.
That's awesome, man. So, like, honestly, I think anyone watching this, they'd be insane not to, right? Not to go and reach out to you. Because, like, even for me, like, because I saw the value. We were talking last night, exactly like you said, we were sharing ideas. And then for me, I was like, this is really good to have this soundboard. Now, the thing is that, it could be having a business post. You actually, instead of me telling this, how about I ask you this? Why should someone have a business coach? Why should they have one?
Yeah, great question, right? People often ask me, what is a business coach, right? So I love the fact that you've asked that. Why
Do you blow whistles?
Do I blow whistles?
Yeah, like a coach.
No.
No?
Oh, no. I don't have a uniform either.
It was a dad joke, brother. Come on. You got to cut me some slack.
You completely lost me on that. Usually I'm on point, but not. I was like, what do you mean? Is that a term that I'm not familiar with? Nah, legit, right? So why have a business coach? Number one, a lot of business owners, are often sole traders or they own the business themselves. They don't have any business partners. So they've got no one to hold them accountable. They've got no one to bounce any ideas off. They've got no one to share the stresses and the pressures and the responsibility with. So you almost think of me as a business partner that's coming in, right? But it's still your company. I'm just here to advise you. The second thing is that a lot of people that go out into businesses, right? So, for example, let's look at a carpenter, right? I'm a chippy. I've started working for myself. I'm making good money, right? but I don't know how to run a business. I'm not a businessman, you know.
Mm.
I know how to build shit. That's why I'm a chippy, right?
Mm.
And so for me, I don't know anything about being a carpenter, but I know about business. And at the end of
Mm.
the day, businesses are all fundamentally the same, right? They all do the exact same thing. They all have the different functions within a business: sales, marketing, operations, finance, people, right? Product or
Mm.
service. Um, so they've all got those functions. So these are all things that I learned along the way, along my journey, right? I was talking to Anna about this last night. In school, they don't teach you about business. They don't teach you about tax, right?
Mm.
So I want to be that person that can teach these people so that they don't make the same mistakes that I do, right?
Mm.
So they can get to where they want to get to faster and better with less risk, right? There are a lot of things that people, even to this day, people like you and I take that for granted. It's like, cool, are you reviewing your P&L, each month? What's a P&L, right? Okay, cool. There are so many things that people that run businesses don't know. And I want to make sure that people are set up for success. So that's why
Absolutely,
you should
dude.
be a business coach. You know,
And you know what?
don't
Like,
reinvent the wheel.
you're
Sorry, bro. I was going to
absolutely
say,
right.
don't reinvent the wheel, right? People have already done this. Learn from them. Emulate what they've done.
You're absolutely right, man. And like, even for me, like, I've learned in the last 12 months, I've learned a lot about business too that I didn't know before either. So for me, I'm like a startup specialist. Like, I can start any business in less than a day and make money from it. Beyond that and the bigger picture and all the things that are, required at the highest echelons, even the middle echelons of business, out of my depth. Wasn't familiar. I've always
Yeah.
been dependent on third parties like accountants like Angelo and things like that to know those things, but I never truly understood them myself, and that presents issues, right? Because, well, you have to know. It's not a matter of you can just let someone else do it, because you'll actually never grow. You actually have to understand it thoroughly. So yeah, dude. Listen, what I'm really curious to know about from here is just what's in store for the future for you, right? So what's your kind of 12-year, your 12, did you say 1 to 3 year vision, right? What's
Yeah.
your 1 to 3 year vision?
So for me, this year is all about rebuilding myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I've had some troubles along the way. I've now kind of come out of those. And this year for me is my year of rebuilding. And so this is the positive, upbeat, high energy guy that you see. And it's about taking that to the next level. So, over the past 3 years or so, I put on a lot of weight. I was abusing substances, that sort of stuff. I've now decided that it's time, or actually about 6 months ago, I decided that it was time to get my life in order. So I've been on this, weight loss and health journey, been feeling so much better. I have been genuinely just trying to help people, and not just help people from a business perspective, right? Just help them with life. Like, I was playing basketball last night on a Wednesday. My cousin usually plays for this team, so some of his friends were playing. We were sitting outside for about an hour after the game. This is a young 20-year-old couple that just got engaged, and I was just advising them on finance, right? She's just lost her job, so we were talking about different things, talking about, cool, you want to get married, etc. So it's about helping people. So for me, the next 3 years is all about helping as many people as I possibly can in whatever capacity, right? Whether or not you engage me as a business coach, I don't care. I set myself a personal mission to go, cool, in 2024, I want to have helped at least 100 business owners, right? Even if it's the conversation that you and I had last night and I've been able to help you in some way, shape, or form, cool, I'm happy, right? So
Absolutely.
for me, and again, when you're a startup, you might not necessarily have any capital or any money to invest, and that's cool. Let's look at what we can do together. Do you have some skills that you might be able to offer in exchange for my time and my services? Great. Let's look at that. Let's look at me just being able to answer some questions and provide you some advice so that you can get a step in the right direction and start getting the ball rolling on your journey.
Absolutely,
You know,
man. I
so
love that.
that's what, for me, that's what it's all about. And then I guess in a couple of years' time, who knows where that'll be? Who knows where that'll be?
Should
But for
we should
now,
go get some Chinese takeaway, bro, and just get a fortune cookie or something. We'll keep snapping them until we find one that works, right?
absolutely.
Yeah, it's
Get
good
another
stuff.
business idea, right?
Mm,
Who actually
absolutely.
provides the the little piece of the paper inside them.
I don't know. I always used to.
Who comes up with the content, bro?
Well, for me, I always used to. When I was a kid, I had the most ridiculous thing. I remember going to work and seeing my mum put the paper in the shredder, and I used to think that the fortune cookie, was just paper from the shredder. Like, oh yeah, this is just they took that from the shredder and put it in. They're just words. I was a very, very young kid at the time. I think I was about 6 or 7. You know what I mean?
That's what I love about business, right? Is who thinks of this shit,
Mm.
right? Who thinks that there's actually a company out there? There are people that are making money from coming up with these, motivational quotes, sayings, whatever, printing them on a piece of paper and putting them into a cookie.
I get you, man. I wonder if there is something. Maybe you can incorporate that. Actually, you know what? That'd be a good marketing plan for you, for your clients. Every single month, send them a bag of fortune cookies, 30 cookies. Each of them have a message every day.
And that's your mantra for the day.
Yeah, imagine that as part of your business coaching.
Yeah.
Now,
that's what I mean, right? When you get the right people together, look at what you can achieve. Write it down, Dean.
Not bad. Not bad at all. So now this is the thing. Like, see how now I'm a little bit more quiet and I'm not speaking as much because now you've got me thinking. So, and that's good. And I think that's the whole purpose of of what you're doing. The whole purpose of what you do day to day is, you help get the cogs moving. You help see different perspectives. You know what I mean? Which is awesome. And I do the same for others. But the thing is that it's like, what about me? Because who's challenging my perspectives? Do you know what I mean? So, and I'm sure the people that you work with, they go through the same thing because there'll be people that haven't reached the point of experience that you've got in life. So they're always going to ask you for advice and information and have you challenge their thoughts. But who have you got to challenge yours? So
Absolutely.
that's awesome.
It's funny you say that, right? Because that's what a good coach will do, right?
Yeah.
A good coach won't just give you the answer. They won't go, cool, Dean. So if you go and use this platform and blah, 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 right? A good coach will be able to coach you through that thought process so that you can find the solution yourself, right? Because I can give you the solution now, but what is that teaching you? If
That's
I can
exactly
teach
right.
you the process of how to come to that solution, that's empowering you for the future.
Absolutely. Give a man a fish, feed him for a day. Teach a man how to fish, feed him for a lifetime.
100%.
Absolutely. Matthew, listen, man, we're out of time, but dude, this is 30 minutes we've been speaking, and I feel like that we could probably go for another 2-3 hours more, right? I just think there's so much to talk about. No, genuinely, I'm not even kidding. I genuinely think there's going to be so much more to talk about, right? So I'm looking forward to the many more opportunities in future that we're going to have to speak. And hopefully in person too, so we can throw a few hoops and down a bit of Glenfiddich there. Is that a 21 I see in the back? And you got a McAllen's Founders Reserve 2. You got a Shivers 21. We've got a couple up on the shelf, man. I like it. So, we'll definitely catch up in person. I'm really looking forward to that. But Matthew, listen, man, there's going to be so many people that are going to be on the edge of their chairs going, how the hell do I get in touch with this guy? Where can people find you, man?
Yeah, so social media. You can send an email to matthew@matthewbassilios.com.au. I'm sure we can post the link up there somewhere. But yeah, just look up Matthew Bassilios on social media, whether it's Insta or Facebook. Website as well, matthewbassilios.com.au. So yeah, and honestly, guys, any question, doesn't matter how stupid, how small, whatever it is, shoot it through. I'm more than happy to help.
Awesome, dude. Awesome. And guys, look, for those that are listening, if you'd like to get in touch with Matthew directly as well, feel free to email us at support@launchday.au. So I'm more than happy to go and coordinate and put you in touch. So yeah, but listen, Matthew, dude, thank you so much for your time today. It was brilliant. I'm left. Pleasure. Oh yeah, 100%, dude. I'm on the edge of my chair. My thoughts have been challenged. My perspective has been challenged. It's good. It's got me thinking, right? And that's if I'm sitting here speechless and dumbfounded, that's a good point, right? It's a good thing to observe. So yeah, dude, thank you so much for coming on, dude. Really appreciate it.
No, my absolute pleasure, and absolutely love what you're doing, man. So keep it up.
No worries. Thank you, Matthew. Truly appreciate it, dude. And for the rest of you, Don't forget to tune in. We are on YouTube now. We're also on Spotify. We're in all different kinds of places on all walks of the earth. So don't forget to go out there, subscribe, hit the subscribe buttons, subscribe to Matthew's channel, subscribe everywhere that you can, because you know what? It's all about getting as much knowledge and value as you can. You're not going to improve unless you take the steps to improve. And unless you're listening to conversations like the ones that come from me or that come from Matthew, you're not going to cause that change. So, guys, I encourage you, get on board, subscribe, get notified for both of us here, because we are going to challenge the way that you think, and we are going to open up new perspectives for you. Matthew, thank you again, dude. Really appreciate it. And as for everyone else,
Can I just say quickly, for all those that are watching out there, and for anyone that has any doubts on whether or not to get in touch with Dean, you'd be foolish not to. You know, especially something like this where you have the opportunity to really push and build your own personal brand and your business. You'd be foolish not to take advantage of such an amazing opportunity. So kudos to this amazing guy for putting it out there for all the entrepreneurs. But jump on it, take advantage of it, and make the most out of it. So thank you, my brother.
No, you're very welcome, Matthew, and thanks for that, man. That's it's touching. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Absolutely. So, guys, thank you for tuning in, and we will see you on the next one.